www.baconicecream.com.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Evercast. We got some air guitar. Your weekly dose of Evercade goodness. I'm one of your hosts, Rich. We got.
There you go. There's the air guitar.
Nice. We've got Retro KillDashNine. What's going on?
Hey.
We've got Crow down here.
Yep.
And then, of course, we've got the EverCanadian himself, Pete. What's up?
Yo.
What's going on? So we got a good show for you today. Of course, we got talking about some game of the month action. So that'll be kind of cool. We're going to be talking about some more renovation, but of course, we're also going to be talking to this awesome chat. So let's say hi. We got Dan Nestick. What's going on? Lloyd Argent. What's going on? Douglas is in here. How's it going? We got Skeletrex in the house. Ballistic Coffee Boy. What's going on? Jealous of the fact that you're able to play Atari Mania, but maybe more on that later. Jason
I've been playing it. I've been playing it on my Steam Deck.
Yeah, it's not on Steam. I haven't bought it though
because I couldn't buy it on the BCS. The store's broken.
I'm so mad about that. Anyway, Arnold Barakis, what's going on?
Rich, you're gonna
what's up?
Have you watched my video on it?
Not yet.
Dude, it is the funnest game. It is so much fun. It's like nostalgia.
Now you're just
teasing
it. Nice, right in the pack.
It's like personality behind all the old
characters. Buddies, but I'm gonna just tell you how awesome this game you can't play is.
You got to rescue Millie. Millie, man, Millie's there. It's awesome. It's such a great game.
That's awesome. I'm glad it's getting positive, positive review and positive, spin here. But I just want to play it.
Come on, guys. It's pretty cool.
Get that third party payment system here.
So much different versions of Pong. Millipede Pong.
Indeed. We got moving on here. We got Below Average Chris in the house. What's going on? Dr. Freeman's in the house. What's up? I don't know about late breaking news. I don't know. Do you know something? Put it in the chat if you know. From the Dead here. What's going on?
I didn't see anything. We
got Mike. What's up? What's going on? And of course, DJ is in the house. What's going on? So yeah, we've got some intro stuff. How was everybody's week? Was it good, bad, and different?
I'm actually making progress.
My Hockey Dynasty League just started, so I've got a second job now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just to manage my team every night. I haven't done this in 20 years, and I'm like, why did I do this?
Well, I'm in the fantasy footballs. I do a family league and like a rando league as well. The family league is interesting. It's a rough one this week because it's me and Danae, or that's the matchup. So it's like I'm a little nervous. What's going on there? But yeah, no, I understand. Like you're in there, you're trying to like get the stats, you're trying to figure out who's going to be where. It's crazy times. So what about everyone else?
I'm almost finished with Morph Cat.
So
nice.
I'm actually halfway through Micro Mage's second quest, and that's the last game I've got to play through.
I'm still full from Thanksgiving.
That's awesome.
I broke my my not eating meat, chicken, pork, poultry thing. I've been doing it for 6 months, and so I had turkey, and it was glorious.
That's cool. That's very, very cool. Yeah, I'm actually like, it's starting to get a little cold in the area here, so I'm almost at the point where I'm like, yeah, it's time. It's time for the.
What's a little cold? Because it's like 36 degrees here right now.
Ooh. Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, I mean, we're still in the upper 50s, mid 60s every day. Here in the
so it's been 85 degrees almost every day, 80 to 85. It's like it's usually 50 here this time of year, 40 or 50, but it's been 85. It's going to be like 85 again today.
You're talking Fahrenheit though, right? Not Celsius.
Yeah.
25 Celsius.
85 Celsius.
Like, are you still here?
Yeah, he's all crispy.
Like
so
25 degrees, 28 degrees, the whole month, which is like 85, 90.
That's crazy.
Here in Texas, we're freezing it at 78 degrees. So, it's always hot. So for me, yeah, work has been busy. It's always great to break away. But I guess so. Two kind of exciting things. So I guess since YouTube has been nice, I finally got the community tab, about 500 subs. So
Sweet.
I appreciate everyone's support, and I also appreciate everyone's support on my latest video, which got over 700 views. So I really appreciate that.
That's very cool.
It just irritated me that the last time when people keep trying to claim that the Capcom collection is behind a paywall or whatever,
whatever.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's all good though. Special individual who motivated me to do that, and then he watched it on the main Facebook, and then that's when he called me a shill and anti-consumer. So hey, at least he saw my video, so that's all that.
The paywall is the Evercade EXP. You can't play it without it.
Well, it's but that's just buying something. A paywall implies that to unlock and get extra features, you have to sub to it, right? So it's you know what I mean? So that's what it is. And I'm like, no, it's bonus content. It's bonus content. And the funny thing is, a lot of us pre-ordered the limited edition, sold out before we even knew about the Capcom collection. And I can't tell you how there's a lot of people who commented, they're like, hey, I was on the fence about getting the EXP. And now because the Capcom collection, that made me pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Which I think is awesome. And then the only thing I want to say on that is, I think, what was it somebody commented, I can't remember who it was, but they said, well, what if Blaze didn't do this deal? And let's say then people who found out later, hey, we could have gotten Capcom, but the games would have had to have been digital. Then the community would have been real. I think we would have been more mad if they passed. You know what I mean? They've been trying to do it for 2 years. Capcom is a unicorn. They're difficult to get. So
Maybe it's a reverse paywall.
Wait, what was that?
Reverse paywall? They tricked us.
Reverse
Order a base unit, and then they said, you know what? We're going to give you a bunch of free stuff. How dare they do something so nefarious? How dare they reverse paywall us?
Right.
Remember when Apple sold those iPhones?
I'm gonna steal that term. I love that reverse paywall.
Video, Ed. Make a video and say they reverse paywalled those dastardly folks. You know what, man? There's idiots everywhere. I don't even go to the Facebook group anymore. I'm so done.
I don't go to Facebook, period, anymore.
I just go to one Facebook group that for Rich to give me hope every couple months with his little update on a certain Facebook. Once he does that, I'm done.
Yeah, I know. It's that balance, right? Because sometimes you can meet cool people through it, but then there's the
just a bunch of people who are miserable with their life that want to share their misery with other people.
Yeah. And then you have some people that they treat this as a one-off. They're like, oh my God, now because of this, everything is going to be digital. I'm like, this is just a one-off.
Yeah. So you know what's not a one-off?
What?
The fact that it's a month and a week until boxes start shipping.
Hey, stop stealing my countdown.
I'm just saying.
38 days
out there. It's one of those things that people can go and do all the things and say all the things they want to say, whatever. And it's just I'm just sitting here going, yeah, but less than a month and a half, I'm gonna have the thing in my hand, so it doesn't it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
The XP countdown is a registered trademark of the EverCanadian.
Yeah, exactly. It's all mine.
All right.
Actually, I did a video for the countdown this morning. So if anything new happens, too bad.
Nice.
It's already done.
So, well, there was some things that were new that happened, right? And of course, it is the beginning of the month, so we got new game of the month. And the new game of the month this time is Lunar Journey. Let me spotlight.
Man, this game is so awesome.
Let me see here.
It just reminds me of
update my VS.
Like one of those point and click adventure games.
But it's not.
It is kind of.
Not really.
It's without the pointing and clicking. You're directly
scavenger hunter game.
But it's the same thing. It's the same premise. You have to find an object to
let you have that.
Yeah,
this one was pretty neat.
I think it was made in RPG Maker, right? It looks like an RPG
Maker. It did say it was made in some sort of maker. I can't remember which one though.
Yeah, because I made a game in RPG Maker and it feels really RPG Maker. Which is not. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying.
How does that look on a big TV? Because even like the Lynx collections, sometimes like some of the other games, they look a little better on the handheld.
Have you played it?
No, not this. No, but I mean,
the comedy is hilarious.
Yeah, I need to.
It's pretty funny. And on my 27-inch I've got here, 24-inch, the monitor I have over there, it looked fine to me. I mean, but then again, I play the bulk of the Evercade stuff lately. Besides Renovation on the handheld, I've been playing this. So, at the terminal here.
So I played this on a 60-inch TV. It looked fine to me.
I guess
like I've captured on a small TV, like a 30-inch. But then again, I play 90% on the handheld, so it looks good.
So am I the only person that likes to play their Game Boy, like OG Game Boy games in color? Because that's
yes, you're weird that way, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, because
I think actually there is.
I'm weird another way.
I want to say there is a version of this that is in color. Because I played this yesterday, and I got to a place where I'm like, this game is trying to tell me something, and I either completely did not notice what it was trying to tell me, or missed it because it wasn't apparent. So I went to the internets to help me out with one thing. And I found that there was somebody that was playing, like, I guess, an early version. It could have been the developer himself. Who knows? Playing something on a stream, and they were using, like, the color overlays. So there is a version, or at least there are overlays where you can...
Because I want to say either I made this up in my head, or did, like, Ryan put, like, in the dev diary that they were looking to add color filters for Game Boy? I can't remember. Cool. Yeah. I mean, it's just really wishful thinking. I would assume at some point. I don't see. I'm also the kind of weird person because I know like a lot of people complain about playing retro games like in HD, which I love looking at retro games in HD. I like looking at pixels. So yeah, I just don't like the nonsense. I'll play the game the way it was meant to be played. Well, what if I want it to be a little bit easier on my eyes? Although this, like looking at this, isn't too bad. It's just the like black and white I can't stand, but this has a little bit of green, so I don't.
Yeah, this game was meant to be played through an emulator since it was made in like 2019.
Right. Yep. 100%.
Ooh. Yeah. Like a super game.
Yeah. And that's kind of like where some of that stuff was introduced, right? The ability to change patterns and they have different frames and change the color palettes and all that kind of stuff.
This looks really cool. That it's not. I thought it was just like a platformer. That's neat. This is an RPG.
No. This is an adventure. It's a lot. It's not point and click adventure, but you have direct control of the character.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like part adventure, part side-scrolling walking simulator,
and not a Sierra game because you can't die in this game. I don't think.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's combat.
Unless you absolutely ignore something that happens in this game, I think I agree with you, Crow. I think it is not possible to fit.
Say the humor.
But yeah, I mean it's neat. It's really cool. Like the writing's like on point. It's not too difficult to get around. Things are kind of in context. Like you can do things and kind of like get your way through. In fact, it was so well, I guess the game was so kind of like well organized that I was able to just simply play through the game in one sitting.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I mean, it probably took me just under an hour. So if you got an hour and you just want to mess around, you could get through this game, certainly within the month, but also probably within a sitting, which I think, that's why I use the analog to like the walking simulator or like the newer style adventure game like Journey or, Flower or whatever. All those games you can, like What Remains of Edith Finch, you can get through those games, like in a sitting or two. You know what I mean? So this is definitely one of those, and I think it's kind of unique that they like went back in time and then made a game that's kind of like that for they chose Game Boy for that, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, and it looks like something that you would see like on the Playdate, and so I think it's awesome that.
Yeah, and everything's kind of cool. The music's charming. Like, it's not too grating. Sometimes the Game Boy sound chip can really kind of get to me anyway. It's pretty decent. So, it's really neat. Pete, did you wind up finishing it too, or? Because I know me and Crow did.
What was the question?
Did you wind up finishing this one?
No, not yet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it
was funny because I had to stop playing.
I don't want to finish any of the Indie Heroes until I get my cart.
Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
I want them all on my cart, so I have a save file because I don't have time to finish all of them, so I'd rather just have it on my cart, do my save files, and go through it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play them on the EXP.
Yeah, and in this one, I had the same exact like goal and impression for Indie Heroes 2. Like, I'm going to play some of the new game of the month, but I'm going to try to force myself not to finish any. It's just with this one, it kind of just like took me.
Yeah.
So like, come on, let's go on this little tale, and then all of a sudden you realize you're at the end because you picked up the 6 things you need to pick up, and you're like, oh, I have them all. Oh, I wonder what happens next, and then you just keep going, and you walk into a room, and you're like, oh, this is the end of the game.
What was funny was like there was a part where I needed to find an ID card, and I was like, I have no idea where this ID card is, and I had to go eat dinner. I was like, okay, I'll come back to this later. I ate dinner, came back to it, and like literally the very next thing I did got me the ID card.
Yep. Yeah, and it's one of those unexpected things. You don't think that would be possibly, without spoiling it, that easy to do, but yet it is literally a button press.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's neat. Definitely highly encourage those that are especially into the adventure style game, to check it out for sure. And it's another like cool little charming indie adventure.
Yeah, see, that's what's neat about the indie games is they're little bite-sized experiences. Like I want to say the indie collections are like the itch.io for Evercade. Right. And I know initially my thoughts were, hey, these are too short, but then, after things get busy, I'm like, you know what? Kind of like this in the arcade games, it's nice to be able to go through in one sitting and you experience it, right? Like it's not one of those type of games where it's like, oh, just one more. No, they're not. They're meant to be bite-sized, experiences, to be enjoyed. Kind of like listening to like a short book on tape. I don't know. I can't really think of a good example, or like a movie or something. And maybe you'll get a few hours out of, maybe let's say if you only got a few hours out of the entire cart, that's fine. You may go back, or there may be that one game that you want to play again. So, it's all about the experience. Oh, when we do go into Renovation Collection, now that I've beaten Valis 3, I do need to say something about it when we get to that.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
It's weird. So, this bar doesn't show up until after. It wasn't there before. Who put it there?
Right. Yeah.
He needs to stop playing this. He's going to beat it, and then we're not going to want to play.
Yeah, I was wondering how long it would take to speed run the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just mesmerized watching this is really cool.
Yeah, no, it is.
I should stop because I'm actually I could actually probably beat the game if I keep going.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
And I think, as you said, Rich, I think it's awesome that in 2022, of all the platforms, that somebody would actually choose the Game Boy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Logically, there's no reason to for all different pixel art style, but I think it's great because they're either it was in GB Studio or because they like that. So I love that.
This is the third Game Boy game we've gotten.
Yeah. It looks like the best one we've gotten so far too.
I'm gonna say Chain Break is still the best one.
Oh yeah, Chain Break.
I might be with you. I might be with you on that. A lot of people don't like the endless runner kind of thing.
That is the best one.
I like that one. So, but anyway, if you haven't already, of course, new game of the month comes when you update your Evercade VS to the latest firmware, and it's usually within the first week of the new month that you get a cool little game. And next month,
halfway through the month though, when we got it.
Yeah, well,
is it a little bit earlier or late? I don't even know because it seemed like I just had gotten the other one.
I think it's just asterisk. Or whenever Ryan feels like it.
Yeah. They're as consistent as the Evercast, so it's all good.
Yeah. So So anyway, that's that, and of course, check it out, do all that kind of stuff. I don't know what is happening there.
Okay, no, you got.
Yeah,
we're both trying to block them. We're both trying to block them at the same time. It's all good.
And that's pretty much that. So, let's move on to some Renovation Collection.
Okay. So I know we talked about like the Valuses in the past, but so one thing I just had to touch on because playing in like Valus 3 actually made me question my Evercade controller, and what I what I mean by that is that like it's a great game, but like the way you have to jump and hold the up button and like the sluggishness of it is just so like I wish it had the controls of Tanzer. That's all I'm gonna say. Like before the last level, the boss, there's an ice level, and it blows. Like that I can honestly say like that felt like a grind. And then for the final boss, I actually had to watch a video to see how to see how to beat that.
You were using the Evercade VS controller?
Yes.
Because I didn't. I don't think I remember any problems like that.
Because I had to question like, is it the Evercade controller? And I'm like, no, I can play Tanzer, I can play their games just but I mean like to jump.
It is different. It is different. We have to play it differently than Tanzer for sure. But I mean
like you really have to hold up, and sometimes you need those, and like just being able to dodge and get out of the way. It isn't as so. I don't know if like Valus 3's control is better than Valus. I mean, great games, but it's just after you get to that point where you wish the controls were better, a little bit frustrating. Like I don't know if it'll be a while before I play through those again. But I'm glad that I finally beat it.
I mean, so
God.
Just because it's a thing. I mean, since we're on the topic, do you want to skip ahead and then come back? We're already talking about Valuses. Do you want to?
For some reason I thought we already talked about Valus 3. Maybe we already talked about the first one.
Talk about it or no? I don't even know what we talked about.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think we talked about Valus.
It's so long, but I don't think.
Yeah, no, I don't think we did because they were on the bottom of the thing. I'm pretty sure because when I went to do the review as to where we were only in the top row. We did 2 in 1 week. We did 3 the next week, and ended with Exile. And then the last time we came back, we did the two games. So yeah, if you look at the back of the box, Valus and Valus 3 are on the bottom, right?
Oh, yeah, yes, yeah. They're the 2 last ones. Actually, I think these games are all in alphabetical order in this case.
Yeah, so I think that's and we always go right left to right. Top to bottom. So, but if we're on the topic, I can just load it up. That's fine. We can talk about some Valus today.
Yeah, because I mean, it's so, and that now without spoiling the ending, I was going to say too is that like they build up this really great story, and then I jumped the gun, and then like the ending, they leave you hanging. Like you want to kind of know. I don't know.
It's not. That's not the last actual.
Yeah. But as far as like
there's the Valus 4.
Yeah. We need that, but I just that was kind of my whole thing. Like I like everything else, and then the third one you can switch characters, which is kind of cool. But it's I don't want to say it's pointless, but it's not as much of a reason like Mario. Like Mario, like I mainly stick with 1 or 2 characters. But man, that ice level is just so painful because you already have like janky controls, and then with the ice.
That's where you have to slide on the moving platforms.
Yeah,
I like that. I thought that was fun.
No, it had better controls. But yeah, that's what I mean. There's little frustrations, and then so here's the other thing too. Like so before when you get to the final boss of the game, and some games do this. Like luckily there's like a hidden heart container which I found. But for me with the boss, I actually had to die, go back, go to the beginning of the first boss level just so I could get my magic meter all the way full up, because like. The beginning half of the boss is cheese. The second half is so difficult, and I barely beat him with 1 life. But I had to like watch a video to kind of, and it's just because, especially you need to jump and move around a lot. Like Tanzer, you can do that, right? Like the controls are so solid. In this, you have to adapt. I mean, I like the experience of the game. Just like towards the end, it was frustrating, but it motivated me to, it was nothing like Boomerang Kid, but
No, I like Boomerang Kid.
I mean,
yes.
is kind of cool, but
Boomerang Kid what I'm
gives me nightmares sometimes.
Yeah.
The only thing about Boomerang Kid is like, how can you not survive a 1-block fall? Like, come on.
It depends, because it depends on if you're jumping or not. Because if you jump, the height is not at the apex of your jump; it's where you started jumping. That's why it looks weird sometimes. But it reminded me of an old PC game, which is why I kind of like it, I guess.
Yeah, luckily for me, the art style, the graphics, the story save it. You know.
Welcome RMGB TV 1 and 2 right to the heart. That is exactly what I was thinking. 100%. That cutscene that we were watching, that's total Galleon vibes right there. 100%. Man, that went for a long time, that title screen.
Yeah, sometimes I let it go for a long time. I don't know.
The story gets a little bit.
Sometimes I just let it go.
I love the story and everything, but the way that they talk, like you feel like the English translation could have been a little bit better, and they could have just kind of got to the point. You know what I mean? But you know, I don't know.
I like this part. This part's cool.
Yeah, but I will say the first Valis is easier, definitely. And you get to move a little faster. This it is cool. You can change characters, but I didn't find myself doing that, like, you know, too much. And then for the boss, you have to be the main character to be part of the story. And he's awesome. I forget what his name is, begins with a G, but yeah. Ooh.
Welcome, Ian.
All right, let me interrupt this. Oh yeah,
interrupt our Valis 3 talk with some summon.
Yes, well, this summon I'm excited because I played it on Karg the other night, and I know some people may have answered it. So here we go. And I am to KillDashNine. Oh yeah! Snap into a Slim Jim. I got to do that.
Where was your Slim Jim? You forgot it.
Goodness.
I know. Somebody said that was inspired by Macho Man. Well, because I recorded that right after I did a short, like getting people to. Okay, go ahead. Oh my god, I had to do that.
Nice.
Oh, I was wondering when Ian was going to summon me.
I mean, Tunnel Land's pretty good. We did talk about that one.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, it's cool, but I think as we discussed previously on the Tunnel Land topic, it's frustrating because since you can't like get to the other tables easily.
Oh my god. That's funny.
Nice. That's pretty awesome.
It just kind of naturally happened. But the art style and everything, you know, for the pod, like everything. What I love about this game is it's like the art style and everything. It's like it's extremely Japanese, like to so much like that. Like Mega Man looks over and gets jealous. Like I love the Japanese like art style and everything, and like the art for this. Like for me, like because of games like this would be a reason to collect like Japanese Mega Drive games because like the art style, the carts and the booklets and everything are just so incredible.
It is really cool. I do like the art style in this whole collection. The art never really was the thing that you would be disappointed about in the Renovation collections.
Yeah.
It's always something else. So maybe there's a little hitch in the gameplay, or maybe there's a hitch in the controls, or whatever. But usually the art is on point on all these.
Yes, like this screams Sega Genesis. Like I kind of feel like this is like the epitome of like the graphics and art style of Genesis. Like it does the Genesis very well. This whole most of the games in the Renovation Collection, really show off like the type of graphics and art style of the Genesis.
Well, so and then
I'm available.
Nice. So outside of maybe Ninja Gaiden and maybe one or two others, have there been a lot of side-scrolling action adventures that have this much story involved?
Does Shinobi for the sequel?
Yeah, Revenge of Shinobi.
Yes, which if this had the play control of that would be a little bit, I don't know. I know I keep going back to that, but
yeah, I mean, because this is like a tremendous amount of story, right? You play through a level, you get like a full like cutscene thing, and then you go on and you keep like it's neat. It's neat that there's like
the thing is that this game also came out on the TurboGrafx CD. And I think that might have been the version that it was made for. That's why there's all these cutscenes and everything. Except in that version, you get it, like all acted out and more animation and voice acting and stuff. Actually, the story is just a little bit different in that version too. Just a tiny bit different, but it's basically the same thing.
Are the controls better, or?
I played it. I don't really remember it being better or worse.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, the difference between all the different versions of the original Valis are like, they're like night and day. Every single version is like completely different.
Oh wow, this character I like kind of gives a Castlevania vibe.
Yeah, you got like the whip thing going on for it. Yeah, it's cool. It's neat. Yeah, this game is definitely cool. And
That came out of nowhere, but I agree with you 100%.
100%. Yes. Give me a Ninja Golf recharge right now. I would take it. And actually have like controls, like really go all in. Have the controls from like Tiger Woods. And then but then instead of like moving to the next every time you take a shot, instead of moving to the next thing.
I don't know what they were smoking the day they thought up the design for Ninja Golf.
Ninja Golf? Oh man.
Let's make a golfing game. You know what'd be really cool? If it had ninjas.
Yes.
Yeah. And then when you got to the green, there's a dragon.
Yeah. And it's like you gotta throw some ninja stars at them. Oh yeah, this would be awesome. And then you go back golfing like nothing happened.
Exactly.
That's not the only golf game that I've seen where you golf and then you have to fight your way to the ball.
Really?
On the PlayStation 2, there's an Aqua Teen Hunger Force golf game that's like the same thing.
No way.
That's awesome.
All right, I have to find that because that's just awesome. But yeah. So I guess getting back to Valis 3 here, like it's a pretty neat game. Like I didn't play a whole bunch of it. I don't know if I even got past the stage that we're looking at right now on Valis 3 before I moved on to something else. But like I think it's fun, and definitely something I want to spend a little more time with. So
what I think is funny is you can switch your characters like anytime during the game. But only he imported that golf game. I used to have it. I don't remember it being that good. But
and he enjoyed it.
You can. What's funny is like when you can switch your characters anytime during the game, except if you look at the heads at the top there. If their head is facing off to the side, that means you can switch to the character. But if their head is facing backwards, that means you can't switch to the character.
Huh. I guess that's kind of cool.
In this case, you have to choose who you want to go on this boat, and then if whoever you choose, you can't switch until you're done with that part of the level.
This reminds me a lot of Castlevania. Yeah,
it really kind of does.
Yes, those things in the water. Castlevania 2, you have to get on a boat. It was like in a few Castlevanias, you have to like get off a boat. Actually, the art style kind of it has a Vania vibe, kind of.
Yeah. You got the tower in the background.
They need to make Valis the RPG would be awesome.
I like this boss coming up too. I thought I don't know if I might have liked all the bosses in this game.
For me, except for the final boss. Then that's
I don't remember having that much trouble with him, to be honest.
But the first one, I like Valis 1, you could beat without dying pretty much. Like it's a lot, it's like it's a lot easier than this, like Valis 1, I feel like I could do that in a playthrough without any save states. This one, maybe now that I've beaten it, but I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, this is where the
so which one did you guys like better?
He just jumps out of the boat and comes, see ya.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy Valis? Like for me, like I enjoyed Valis 3 better, but I feel like you need to play Valis 1 first for the story and.
Well, yeah, and then you missed Valis 2 because Valis 2 wasn't on the Genesis, but there was a substitute game instead called Sid of Valis that was on the Genesis instead.
Is that weird one? Or like,
yeah, super deformed characters.
Yes.
It's like I froze it, and now I can't hit it.
Right, exactly, yeah. And so you had to like inch yourself up for the boat, to the boat.
No
That
kidding.
magic was kind of cool.
I love me the Atari collections.
Heck yeah, man.
I was like, "Where's the?" No, there he is.
It's such a shame though, because like you could really just, if he were just a little bit closer, should have like really like got him in like a
It'd
damage.
be like, there goes my speed run.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. See, that's what I mean. Sometimes I kind of feel like having to get in and duck and be like, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Valis 3 good times.
I love it.
So what about Valis? Or did we?
Valis 1. Yeah, I mean, why not? Let's work our way backwards because
I
we have
buy
that.
these games at my local game store, retro game store, and they're available like both of them complete in box on the Genesis.
What about how are they price wise?
Pretty good. I think
Okay.
100 and something bucks Canadian
For both of them or just each?
each.
Ooh. Yeah. I
It's
think
like-
if I'm paying that prices, I'm gonna get the Japanese versions. Get the cooler box art. Because in North America, for most of like the Genesis Mega Drive artwork, we got like shafted compared to the Japanese versions.
Nick the Toy Collector. Do you think a possible Capcom Collection 2 would make it to the cartridge format?
I mean,
Maybe.
It's still possible.
Yeah, I mean, why
I
not,
hope so.
100% possible if the EXP does well.
But it's not actually labeled the Capcom Collection 1. It's just 18 Capcom games.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
that's true.
So there's always a chance that stuff could make it to cartridge. You don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's the age old like never say never, right? You just don't know.
Tales from the Junland Waste has a great comment. Actually, it's a really cool comment. I'm grumpy about the XP as I think that the VS those who bought the VS were losing out on the Capcom goodness. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, but also
Not everybody can afford both.
that's very true. But you also have the the statements that have been made by Sean and Ryan that again, like due to what was going on with the EXP deal, you never know, right?
I see it as a bonus, not a given. Like it's just a bonus with EXP to, it's not something that is a commonality between all its hardware. It's just, hey, the EXP just happens to have this because that's the only deal we can make. So,
yep.
Unfortunate.
Exactly. It comes into licensing. So, I mean, listen, it could be the fact that, like, let's say if they did ever come out to the VS, who knows, like Sony or like Nintendo may come back and be like, what are you guys doing? We wanted this for our console. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to make the other, maybe you don't want to make the other companies.
They don't want to make those guys mad because then
I'm wondering if it's the same deal as with the Namco collections where they can only be on a handheld. So in order to prevent a cartridge from not working on the VS, they just put it just directly on the Evercade EXP.
Yeah.
You still have IRM, right? IRM collection. I'm looking forward to that just as much as anything else.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's get some R-Type going on, and these other games that are out of that collection are pretty cool.
I am not a big R-Type fan.
Yeah, I know you like those vertical ones, but
I was looking.
R-Type was my game.
Yeah,
growing up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Siren.
I'm trying to like them more though, like the side-scrolling shoot 'em ups, but just. I find that getting used to the narrower real estate is annoying.
Yeah.
That's what annoys me, but
So here's what's funny, and I'm not saying this is the case for everybody, but wouldn't it be funny like if some of the people who were like whining about about like the whole paywall and the Capcom collection like not going, like let's say they already own a Steam Deck, it's like
reverse paywall.
Reverse paywall. Yeah. No, and I get to like what you mentioned, be like financially, but here's the good thing though. Like if you really want so I would just say this: if you really want the Capcom collection, you can piecemeal it out. You can emulate it on other platforms. There are other options, but I get why you'd want to play it on the EXP because the EXP is awesome.
Blizzard Coffee Boy, another good question there. How many days do we get the C64 collection? That's November 4th.
I forgot about that collection.
November 4th.
Wow.
When's that coming out?
And, so that's
I'm not even excited about the C64 collection.
three more Saturdays.
Mm.
And then
I'm wondering if I could make it through all the rest of the collections until.
I'm excited with the next two indie
Do you have a
titles.
collection coming with that? There's usually 2, right?
yeah, it's a Cathedral and Alma's Awakening.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I don't think
Yes.
I'll get a chance to play the C64. Like, I'll do my first impressions, but to really dive into it, probably till after the new year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the thing is, I've played like probably almost all those games already on the C64 collection.
Yeah, 'cause I have the C64 too and the Mini. But I gotta tell you, man, Alwa and Cathedral, those games.
Yeah, Cathedral
I
for sure.
know. I know.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to it because it's been a while since I played
Well, Alwa's
a
the
longer game like that.
lots more content, right, on the Alwa.
Mhm.
So
Yes. Yes.
I just like playing it on my Switch. I just not my Switch, my Steam Deck.
Steam.
Yeah. And then who knows? Because I put my pre-order in through Funstock, and can we go? What is it now? 4 for 4, where the box shows up early.
Yeah.
So that'd be kind of cool. I mean, you guys don't know because on the November, was it November 5th? Yeah, the November 5th episode. If I have them, then you guys will see them.
Well,
It's
by
funny,
then,
we all said we played, like me and Crow played it on C64 Mini, but I know I played it on the Mini with the worst controller ever. Like,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was.
well,
Oh, the thing that comes with the Mini, you mean?
Yeah.
almost all of those Epic games I played way back when I actually had a Commodore 64. So I'm pretty familiar with those games.
And I've played some of those from visiting my my aunt and uncle. My uncle on my dad's side had a C64, so their family grew up, and all my older cousins grew up with that. So I would go over there and then just play that, and then when I was done with that, I would go downstairs and play some 2600 in the basement. It was awesome. Yeah, very cool. So here we got some Valis action here. Let me just.
I don't think it actually got to any of the gameplay.
Yeah.
It was all while you were talking.
Yeah, no, we did the entire thing. That's why I was like, you know what? We might as well take some Q&A. We'll wait while that's playing.
Yeah, exactly, Dan. That's what I was kind of saying. I think this is like a good warm up. Like when you play, it is kind of one of those chill games. And I think if you like Valis, you'll like Valis 3 and vice versa. Like they're kind of like an extension of the same game, really.
I like easy games. I got no time for hard games anymore, unless it's Elden Ring. And
Oh, you want a hard version of this game? Try playing the Famicom version. That's ridiculous.
What a Valis one.
Yeah, it's completely different. It's more like a maze.
Oh, wow.
And, you have to find your way through but all the enemies just come out of nowhere.
That's crazy.
Super fast.
Yeah, the cool thing, and I think you mentioned this in your video on this game in particular, is this one is, I guess it's like less punishing, because you can take just an obscene amount of hits before you actually in danger of dying.
Yeah,
look at that. Yeah.
So
the hitboxes are pretty bad at this one.
Yeah, at least they improved that in the third one. But I kind of feel like this one, the second one, kind of you feel like Sonic, like it's that much like faster, but it's not too horrible.
Yeah.
I totally forgot to talk about like the cheats you could do in that game, because it's ridiculous. You could skip through the whole game without actually playing it.
Yeah.
Which one? Valis 3?
Valis 3, yeah. I'm trying to figure out, like, I can't even remember what if there's anything for this one in particular. There probably are, because most of these renovation games had ridiculous codes.
Yeah. Well, that kind of like makes it fun, because if you're like either a casual player or someone that isn't like in tune with some of the styles of these games, like me with shooters, like it takes me forever to actually like learn patterns and do all that kind of stuff. I was just actually, just give me the old man code and let's go.
There is a ridiculous code you could do for Valis 1, but only if you're on the VS, because it requires a second controller.
Oh, okay.
Anytime during the game, you could pause and you bring up the magical ability selection screen. And then while you're on that screen, you take the second controller and press right A and B at the same time. And then all your health and magic is automatically refilled.
That's awesome. That's the best. It's like, oh, so like if you get into a level you're having particular trouble and you're just like, boop,
Oh, I'm almost dead. Pause the game. Give myself my health back.
That's the best.
The other code for this one is there's a sound test that you can get into, sound and music test, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
And all you have to do is hold down A, B, and C and then push start on the title screen, and then you'll be taken to a music test.
Nice. I love when games do that. You know, it's like when, like way back in the day, I'd go over to my friend's house, and then sometimes we wouldn't want to like actually play video games. We were like doing something else. So kind of like a like a primitive version of an early MP3 player. We'd like put on a game, and then go to the music test and just start playing that like there was a jukebox.
Yeah,
Pretty good. Pretty good times.
So here's a question for you guys. Going back to the Capcom thing, which I just realized, because you know that I think it was Ryan had teased for a while that he asked the question about, do you want an exclusive game on the OG handheld, or they've teased they're going to put something embedded as a final tribute. What if, because there's like 250 gigs of space like on the internal, on the internal memory and whatnot. What if they put like 4 Capcom games just to make people happy? Because it is licensed for a handheld.
Handheld?
Yeah, so like just as a tease. Or maybe if they put like one of them. I don't know. I just thought about that. Like maybe they would do that just kind of like.
That would be wild.
Yeah.
That would be absolutely wild. I don't know though, because in those kind of like licensing agreements, it's like it's about like maybe getting some kind of residuals for the sales of the device. But if the device is going discontinued, like there's no point, right?
What if they did, or what if the deal that they did, let's say, was like for 20 games, but they held 2 of them back for the OG handheld? I don't know. Just throwing nonsense out there.
I mean, you never know. It would be kind of cool though to see or maybe one of those things. It's like, well, we haven't really done like a good look as to like what the most popular. That'd be kind of a cool topic, right? Like, what is absolutely the most popular game, of the original set, that will be able to be played on the original handheld.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then what if like something like that, like a digital ROM of that version of the game that's the one, because it's like the one you would always have in your console or whatever. That'd be kind of cool. As like a neat send off, or an original title. That'd be neat too, right?
Well, they'll have more time for that next year, because I mean, we're pretty sure that. I mean, I don't see that they would ever come out with another like newer console for a few years, right? Or maybe even at all, because
I mean, again, here we are, like not even prior to the release of the 3rd piece of hardware in a row. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like
other than like special editions or limited editions, because I think at this point, like for the price point that they want to be at, like if they do anything else, and I think you start to kind of get into like the Switch Lite territory. You know what I mean? Like then it gets to what are you going to charge $300 for an Evercade? And then at that point, it's like, well, then you might as well get like a Steam Deck. So I think it's priced where it needs to be. I think it's going to have all the features that it needs to have, and we all can't wait to get our hands on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ooh! Oh my God! Yes. Do you remember the Indiana Jones Temple Arc? Yes. I think it was Atari.
To be honest, I don't think I'd be too excited for that game. I didn't really like it.
Oh,
no, you didn't like it. I never. Actually, I don't even know if I even knew about that game.
It's a fun game. You have to like rescue the kids that are captured in cages, and you have a whip, and
that's kind of cool.
It's just a perspective that I don't like of that game.
Is it like a isometric or something, or?
Well, yeah, but it's like on a wall, sort of. It's kind of really weird. It's hard to explain.
So that is interesting, but you know what? But here's what I could see Blaze doing, and I wouldn't fault them for that. Like, let's say if you were going to put a timeless game to always be on the OG handheld, and it's like, hey, maybe we want to clear out the last of our stock. If they threw something on there like Tetris, you know what I mean? Like, let's say they said Tetris will be, it'll be available on the EXP and on the OG. Maybe some people will rush out just to. Yeah,
something like that. Oh, I mean, like if it was available somewhere else, yeah, I would agree with that. But yeah, no, I think it might be. If it was me, and I was a betting man, which I'm really not, I would say that whatever this final send-off thing for the original handheld would be, it would be like very personalized to the Evercade community, like people that have been here from the start, like whatever the announcement is, they'll look at it and be like, yeah, okay, like I don't think it's gonna be like a new thing. I don't think it'll be like a giant thing, something that's like a big get. But when you look at it, you'll be like, I feel you, like the feels, like something for the feels is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, yeah, that would be nice. I mean, as much as I love Pac-Man, if they put like Pac-Man from Namco on it, like that would be underwhelming. I'd be like, oh,
yeah, or like but like I said, I always lean towards like, like the more like, what if it was like something that was, like, hey, we had some people working in the dev team on something, and here's this cool game, and then, like, there you go.
Like something like Berserk, like the 2600 version. I don't know, like that would be.
Or I mean, or something like a remake, right? Like of a game that was done, internally, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Princess Quest as a send-off, Skeletrix, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, that'd be all right.
I just hope it's something that we don't already have. Like have it be like a new game.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Hot dog bezel on the Evercade OG. That's hilarious.
You know what? I could see them doing that, like as a troll. Like you put in a secret code hot dog, and I don't know. I could see them. I could see them doing that.
Yeah. So
I'm more interested in seeing what new bezels they're going to come out with too. I mean, they said they'd be new. They're not necessarily called bezels, are they? They're called themes.
Yeah. I mean, so once you have the ability to do like, like Wi-Fi, like you've got both your system's Wi-Fi and your system firmware kind of be in a little bit of parity there. I think it'd be really awesome as a convenience feature to be able to like put, like your own, like upload a PNG, right, as a background. Why not?
Ooh. Oh yeah, do it yourself.
Yeah, why not? Right? Throw a little Evercast background out there. That'd be kind of cool. Or have like a cool front end from your favorite game. Like a hard drive and marquee, for example.
That would be nice.
Yeah, like just throw something out there. Because then you could just do whatever.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like somehow I'd be tricked, but like if they like threw like Miss Pac-Man or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what other like Namco exclusives that they they could toss on there.
Oh yeah. Oh, did we highlight this one? Collect the top 3 Holy Grail arcade games: Elevator Action, Rampage, and Gauntlet. Those are great games.
Yeah,
those are for sure great games. But yeah, you're right with the Gauntlet side of things. Warner Brothers, I think, still does have that license for Gauntlet, so you have to get it back through them for sure.
I would even be. You know what they could do? Kind of, sort of like what they did with Indie Heroes. They could tease something and come out with a game, and right now it could only be available on the OG handheld, and then then they'll announce, hey, the card is coming out and you can get it for everything. Like I'd be fine with that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Hashtag find Victor Ireland right now. Yes. Always. I'm like, I'm never gonna not say like, oh yeah, you know what? Maybe we don't need that work. It's like, nope, we still need it. So, but yeah. So, I guess let me see if I could skip forward another little bit. Is this the entire game, Crow? On this?
Yeah, it is. It is
the
entire game.
See, the cutscenes are a little long.
We've gone through.
That's what I mean.
17 minutes in,
and there's
it's like again, like here it is. It's a great example.
You are selfish. It's none of my business. Like it's very robotic. It's like
it's cool to like see it, right?
Let me go home.
That, like, hey, there's a game. It's got all the story in it. But I guess when we're talking about the game, I never really realized like there's like 5 minutes of action and then almost 10 of this.
See,
like,
well, yeah, you've only played the first level, but then after that scene, there isn't another one till like the end of the game. I think.
The end.
What has the world come to? Like,
because, like,
that's what I mean. It's like
it wasn't even like the game. It was like an intro to the game.
Yeah. Which it sucks you in, but you're like, man.
No. The main character gets the suit, no more regular day outfit. All right, let me go forward a little bit more. Really? They're still...
Dude, then like they should have like the letters go by fast. Like really, like I almost feel like someone's on a
Do
typewriter.
that. I just didn't hit any buttons. I just let it go.
Yeah.
Correct, sir. Yes, that is very true. You know, like walk into a room, put somebody in a sleeper hold, walk out of room, cutscene. Very true, very true. But even still, though, like it's cool though that there's lore that's built into this stuff, and for those that are looking for that kind of thing in their video game, like it's neat that there is a collection that is literally full of like that. You can play in all different genres, and somehow you're going to get all this crazy story. I think it's cool. I think it's really neat.
So let me ask you guys this, because I kind of do, and maybe this is in my own head, but I kind of always felt like Capcom and Konami were kind of like rivals. I don't know if like the developer left and went over there or why I think that, but I kind of feel like that if a Konami sees that Capcom has a collection, they'll make, hey, we want to get on the Evercade. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm kind of hoping, that like this rivalry starts and other developers are like, hey, we want to be on the Evercade, and then it kind of becomes like a cool thing to be able to have your games preserved in physical media. You know what I mean? Like I think that's
don't know if that'll be the case exactly, because back then the reason why everybody copied each other is because somebody would come out with a game and it would be really popular, and then everybody else would be like, we need a game like that too, and then they would do the same thing. I mean, that's why so many different fighting games came out when Street Fighter 2 became popular. So everybody had to have their own fighting game.
Yeah, that's true. And that wound up with like the glut of that early 90s. You couldn't walk into an arcade without tripping over 10 new 2-player fighting games that were of varying quality.
Well, that's what I mean. Like really, in my opinion, like Mortal Kombat is the I feel like Mortal Kombat was really the only other thing to come close. In that, unless King of the unless like King of the Fighters
also,
showed,
SNK, they put out so many fighters that and then they just combined them all, and then that became really popular.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, and sort of to the point, RMGB, Konami, it isn't really necessarily the Konami that they once were, for sure.
Yeah. What's them with Atari?
But they do, they do hold all of that stuff. So it's like it's one of those things where,
they have been.
None of the companies are like, even Nintendo. Like I'll go like for me, like the last greatest console Nintendo made was the Super Nintendo, and I think after that they've never captured lightning in a bottle since then. I know I just upset a bunch of people.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, they captured cultural lightning in a bottle with the Wii for sure. Like that thing just took off.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot of depth there.
Yeah.
But they did. People like saw the Nintendo in that era and just like picked it back up. And I think though, I mean, a lot of people underplay the value of the Switch, but I think like it couldn't be overstated that like they really did make an impact in this generation as well. Even though people don't really talk about it, it's just in a different way, right? They're hitting different marks.
Well, with Nintendo, it's like every other console they do does really well.
Right. Exactly. Right. Well, so it's Super Nintendo, awesome. N64.
Actually, it starts at a certain point. N64 is arguable. I don't think it did that great. Personally, at the time, but then there's a lot of people out there that it was their favorite console at the time.
That's true.
That's
true.
That console's fueled by nostalgia.
The one after that, GameCube did really poorly, but then the Wii did really good. Then the Wii U did really poorly. And now we're on the Switch, which is doing really good.
Well, I'll just
a failure. Compare it to the PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but even depending some PlayStation 1 graphics don't, like this is timeless. Like looking at this now, this pixel art holds up, right?
Yeah, well, but I mean, there's probably 10 or 15 examples on PS1 that you could sit through, like, oh yeah.
Yeah, there's Mega Man 8 on PlayStation 1. That looks really good.
Yeah.
It's Castlevania Symphony of the Night. That's
And you have to look at the Japanese PS1 collection as well, because for the longest time, Sony of America didn't want any of those sprite-based games to be released in the US because at the time it seemed like it was something that was more antiquated. So they were like, we don't want any, pixel, sprite. So Mega Man 8 was really the first one that they let out over here.
Yeah,
that was like that.
So I'll tell you the trouble. I'll tell you the trouble with the Switch that Blaze has done brilliantly, and another company's done brilliantly, is I hear all the time, like I want to say, like a lot of people say that like they either always play their Switch in docked mode or like they have like the OLED and they want it for the screen. And so I think that's a problem when you have a system that's too hybrid like that. And like Nintendo's like handhelds are back, especially like with COVID, the economy, So I think it's great that Blaze is like, hey, your game saves are on the cart. You can play them on either thing, the EXP, you can plug into HDMI, but they're still separate. Like even with like Valve, they understand like their primary thing that, if the Steam Deck is a handheld, but you can plug it in and play it on another monitor. So I think it's great when companies like, kind of stay focused like that.
Yeah, I mean,
side rant, but
yeah. Well, I mean, it also is like goes to show like sometimes experimentation pays off too, right?
Yeah.
So,
but like the VS though, like I think it's great. Like it is like a it's not a port. Technically, it could be a portable, but you know what I mean. Like there's no screen, right? Like it is. Like it is what it's meant to be, and we have the 2 card slots. So they did something different, which is
right. Well, but there's a purpose for the VS, right? The purpose for the VS is the fact that not only can you have an alternative that you can plug into a TV, but it was built to get people to look at couch co-op as an option, as a play option. So I mean, and that's that's really where the VS shines. So because it's also just a convenient thing if you just so happen to be someone that does content on the internet. It's also very convenient playing your Evercade games on a capture device, for sure. So, hey, what's going on, Chris? What's up? On break at work. Well, hopefully it's a good day. Yeah, we're hanging in, man. We're hanging in. So,
Jason brings up something that I thought was interesting. It's like he says that the Renovation Collection is a 9, would have been a 10, but Beast Wrestler sucks. So the question is, if they didn't include Beast Wrestler, would it then have been a 10? And if that's the case, then why would one less game be a better score?
I'll tell you.
Agree. I'm with you. Because also, you know what? I'm going to stand up and say Beast Wrestler is not that bad.
So here's where I become conflicted, right? Because I do like experiencing, let's say, like new games like that or Boomerang Kid, but then sometimes, honestly, I feel like sometimes it can cheapen a collection, and that so I get like it's almost kind of like you feel because you kind of want an Evercade collection because you want it to be curated and you don't want to go through thousands of ROMs. So sometimes I do feel like it is a nuisance sometimes having some of these other games that maybe you don't like, but then again, maybe someone else likes those games. So then you don't want a collection where some games are left out because maybe you're missing out on a game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I get both sides of it, but sometimes I'm in conflict where I'm like, yes, I'm glad it's there to get experience it, but then I'm like, it's another one you have to sort through. But then I'm like, well, I don't know. So I get both sides of it. I'm kind of in the middle.
When I'm looking at the games that I would rank, I'm looking at the games that I like on the cartridge. I'm not looking at the games that I don't like on the cartridge. I'm pretending like those don't even exist.
No. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see one of those situations because but that's down to user preference, right? It's everybody's got a different feeling on how they would rank or not rank.
You all reminded me of something. I do have a bone to pick with Blaze. We're talking about collection. So I forget what streamer I was watching, but one of like their top games that they pointed out from Gremlin for the Super Nintendo. There's a game called Top Gear, which actually looks like a really cool like racing game.
We got Top Gear. It was called Top Gear. And it was on the Pico Collection.
The Pico Collection.
They changed the name of it to the licensing. That's the thing.
Same game?
We already got Gremlins games. They were in the Pico Collection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
So it's that same game. Okay. So then it's like
it's the same game. We got Top Racer and Top Gear and Top Gear 2. They were each on the 2 collections. One was on 1 was on 2. Except they were called Top Racer instead of Top Gear.
Yes.
Okay. They're similar because I was like, that's a cool. I hope we don't get Gremlin Collection 2 next year. I mean, I don't want a whole collection of like games like Beast Wrestler. I'm sorry.
Well, a lot of people wanted Hogs of War, which is a PS1 game. That's a Gremlin game that a lot of people liked.
Yeah. I mean, and Gremlin does have some more titles, so there could be a second collection. But I mean, again, it's like that's going to be you gotta imagine that's going to be a pure business decision. You know, they look at all the collections, like which ones sell, the which ones didn't. And, if you're sitting on a stack Gremlin Collection 1, they're probably going to be like, maybe we won't revisit that one.
Or they need to find another collection to pair with another collection, and nothing else is ready to put out except for Gremlin 2.
That's true.
So for me, the Gremlin Collection is. If I had to pick one collection where I feel like Blaze completely missed it, and I'll tell you why, because you even like there's even like a lot of like and I get it that it was mainly geared geared toward a British collection, but then there's a lot of people that are like, no, I don't like that are British that don't like it. So I feel like even Worms is like geared towards a specific audience. I just kind of feel like Gremlin was just like that's my for things that I think were a big miss. That would be the one collection if I could delete like from existence, I would do it.
Which collection would you delete?
The Gremlin collection.
Huh.
Because it's just it's a weird assortment. Even with like in television too, do I dare say, like I found a couple of games that I could play on that. That would.
Well,
we're all over the top.
I mean, we're hopefully like we're getting the PC or not PC computer games now. With we're gonna get a re-release of like an Amiga collection that has some of the games we previously got that were on the Genesis that should have been the Amiga versions because they were.
Yeah, that would be kind of neat. Yeah, we'll take some of that for sure.
Like they did at the arcade, like they did the arcade collections. They included some of the different ports.
Like we have the NES version of Burger Time, but then we got the arcade version of Burger Time, and the same thing with Bad Dudes. I think a lot of those were like the Data East games.
Yeah, no, definitely. I hope we do. Which I think like almost because we know that they have the licensing, we're gonna get like an Amiga Amiga collections.
Yeah, I mean, well, again, you think back to why blue, right? Why are you gonna put a spine in there that's a different color unless you're gonna get more microcomputers, because that's going to happen. But yeah, so finishing up today's Renovation Collection games, I guess the two Valis titles. I mean, definitely worth a play and worth checking out, especially those that are looking for some story with your action.
Yeah,
it's good times. So let's go on to just a real quick little bit of Q&A. Take a question here or there. And then we'll get out for the day. How long can we show Valis to a next game already?
Listen, y'all can blame me. Rich had the other two videos like all queued up, and I'm like, let's just talk about that.
He even downloaded my 9-hour video.
Sorry about that.
So here's the thing, right? Are we ready for this one? So I am still downloading the 9-hour version of Treasure. It says it has 3 minutes left. It's been the entire Evercast, but I will have it. I'm probably gonna break StreamYard next week when we put it in.
Yeah, StreamYard will let you upload a 200 meg video. You'll have to like.
No, you could edit the video.
I probably will.
Yeah.
I probably will. I mean, I'm gonna have to cut that down. That's insane. But very cool. Oh, so a question from the Calling All Retro Gamers from the other night for you, Crow. What's your thoughts on that Legends pinball cabinet?
It's worth it if you want to play digital pinball. I mean, if you're looking for a virtual cab that you're not going to build yourself, it's a way better option than the arcade 1-up versions or any other versions because of the amount of tables that are available.
Yeah, you can get those packs. And they're not that expensive.
I mean, you are getting the pinball arcade versions of a lot of stuff when you first get it. But then you could purchase and buy the Zaccaria tables, which are made by Magic Pixel, which are really good.
Nice. So your opinion, especially like for tables, because I'm new to this particular digital world. Zaccaria over anything else is really kind of the way to go.
Well, no. I wouldn't say that. Right now, it's between Zaccaria and Pinball FX. Whether or not you're looking at Pinball FX 3 or the new Pinball FX, which they just called Pinball FX, which is still in early access. But I don't think they're going to come out with any more tables for Pinball FX 3. I think they're going to be all in the new Pinball FX. which
Got
has its own issues that people don't like about it, but I won't get into that here. But the thing with the another thing you could do with the Arcade Legends pinball is the same thing we could do with your arcades, with your Legends Ultimate, is you could hook a PC up and you could play any pinball game you could play on a PC on it, or any arcade game in general. Because I mean, they also sell like components that you can add to it. Like I added like a joystick arcade controller with a trackball, so you could play like, you know,
vertical shooters,
arcade games on it. I also got a board of called VIBS. I can't remember what that stands for, but that's so you could plug in an input, so you could use both screens. You could use the screen and the back plate and on the table itself. And so when you hook it up to your computer, it's like you have two monitors, and you can play your pinball games like that.
That's neat.
So you could play your Pinball FX3. You could play anything Zaccaria Pinball. You could play literally anything you could play on a PC on the arcade. And it's like, and it uses the controls, just like basically you have to plug it into your PC, and it acts like the controls in the pinball machine are the controls on the computer.
Yeah. Oh, that's very cool.
In terms of what you could do with it, it's there's a lot you could do with it. And the only way you can get a better, more out of anything is if you build it yourself, or you buy one of those ones that are thousands of dollars that people have pre-made.
Very cool. Very cool stuff. Yeah. So Pete had to run. I think he's got I don't know if it was like kid soccer game, or
he said he had to run soccer time.
Yeah. Well, he was a little bit under the weather
too.
Just
watching his team. Maybe he's gonna go. I understand. I know the feeling.
I agree with you, Douglas. That's why I have the Evercade is the one thing I'm collecting, so that's why I have like the Gremlin collection.
Yeah. And well, I like it because it's, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, Evercade is actually like easy to collect. You know, like it's just easy. You know, like they come out, you know, 2 carts every other month or so, and you know it's mega cheap. It's like both carts are under the cost of a regular title for any other system, so it's like, why not?
Well, that plus you're finding games that you wouldn't have normally played or even heard of in some cases.
Yes. That is very true. Very true. Yeah, all back to that discovery drum. So
exactly, Evercade is easy to collect, and that's what I think is great. Like that's why, you know, if they had came out with like 50 carts a year or something insane, then it'd be like, then I would.
I was gonna bring it up. If you can get one for $300, that's like less than half the price it normally is. So get it if you can afford $300.
So is that the ultimate?
Well, that's the thing.
The ultimate pinball, or
I am assuming it's the At Games Ultimate Pinball because there's not another one out yet. They are making a mini version of it, but that is only pre-orders, and so
got it.
That's not
I mean, if Sam's Club wouldn't have them pre-order, they would, you know, they only have what's in stock. But at $299,
yeah, it's like
I don't have enough room for it, but I might.
That's less than what Arcade 1-Up is selling their current arcade cabinets for.
That is nuts. But yeah, so Ballistic Coffee Boy has a question about CoinOps.
No, I haven't done anything with CoinOps X. To be honest, I don't play it as often as you think I would.
So right about there, if you zoom in, right around there,
Retro KillDashNine.
Yeah, you'll see a little USB floating around. Yes, I have. It's so easy. It's so easy to do.
I don't play it as much as I should, primarily because I have a real pinball machine sitting right next to it, and I'm always playing that instead.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
To be honest, like if I had a real pinball machine, I probably would never go back to.
It's crazy.
I know they're a lot more expensive, but you know.
Yeah.
They do hold their. That's the thing with with real arcade cabinets and pinball machines. They do hold their value.
I'll go to the pinball expo. You could win a pinball machine or a raffle. You're raffling off. I never win. I always enter, but I never win.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, Ballistic paid $700 for his Legends. That's an incredible price.
Well, that's what it is normally, $700.
Yeah, but at $299, like seriously?
Yeah, $299 is
I mean, I'm gonna Just going there right now. I'm just gonna look.
He's like, he's like, done, bought, done.
Either that, or you could buy directly from At Games, but that wait for one of their sales, because they have these sales from time to time where like a ton of stuff they sell cheaper than they normally would.
Pick up out of stock. Well, maybe they're clearing them out of the stores themselves.
Yeah, it might be in the store.
I'm looking at $729.
Because I always hear of like people like, oh, look, these arcade Winamax machines are like only $100 at Walmart, but it's only their specific Walmart that is doing it.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be without like a riser and.
Yeah, it's like $100 as well.
Yeah,
you do have to pay $100 for shipping if you do it from At Games itself.
And the nearest one to me is way, way, way far away. That says that they have them in stock. It might be worth a phone call.
Plus, I think it comes in 2 separate boxes. The pinball machine. And it's possible you might get one day and the other part another day.
Yes, I would. Yeah. Well, the thing is actually, I mean, it's big. The thing is actually like.
Yeah, it's a decent size.
Yeah. But I think that would be neat.
Smaller than a real pinball machine, but
right.
That's true. Blister Cup. They do charge a lot. Yeah, that's true. If you can find it like at Sam's Club or something, if you can find it locally or free shipping.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, not to endorse whatever retailer, whatever, but Sam's Club specifically has deals with At Games. When you get the, like the Legend stuff at a Sam's Club, they usually put something else in the box that you wouldn't get normally. For example, the Legends Ultimate Cab a year ago or 2 years ago, whenever it was that I got it for Christmas, if you ordered direct from At Games, the cabinet didn't come with the pinball buttons as an accessory. But if you went to Sam's Club for the same price, and in fact, actually it was less because it was their Black Friday deal, it came with the buttons in the box. So like you got the buttons extra. So you got a free accessory. And they had like 2 or 3 extra games or something on it.
Kind of like if you get the limited edition of the EXP, you get like the hard case and extra cool.
Yeah.
It is neat though. Yeah, definitely. You're pulling like those exclusive deals from certain resellers. Yeah.
And then Mike was like, it does look like it's select stores and they're just clearing out the old stock. But man, if you live nearby, that's worth a trip if you're looking for something. That's for sure. That's crazy. That's an interesting question. Nick, the toy collector, does Evercade have repair facilities in the U.S. or does it get shipped directly to Blaze in England? That is the latter. Anytime something happens and you need support, that's going to be floating over the pond, so to speak.
That necessarily true. I'll do my own repairs right here.
Crow repairs. No, you just get sent a replacement.
But don't start shipping Evercades to Crow.
Yeah, no, because I'll keep them.
You know what? That is a good point because the OG handhelds, because they're cheap enough, you just get shipped a replacement. I wonder now. I would, I mean, either way, you're gonna get taken care of, with the EXPs. But I wonder now if it's gonna kind of be the same thing, or I think they would just send you another one and you send it back. I don't think they would. They're not gonna make the consumer mess around with that. And that is, that was a great question.
And then I think we'll do one more. Douglas here has got. I wonder which card so far is your least favorite, not just bad, but least favorite.
Oh, that's easy. It's the Gremlin collection.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we might have a 3 for 3.
Yes, 100%.
3 for 3 right there.
That's why I said that would be the one that I said I wished it could be erased from existence.
Poor Zool. Poor Zool. I mean, I really want to like them all, but I mean, I think it's Gremlin. I think it is Gremlin.
I usually try to play through all the games, but like I had to stop playing Zool because it was like, oh man, you make it to the end, but you can't finish the level because you didn't find enough stuff. It's like, come on.
Yes, that's such a true thing. Yes, God.
Right.
That turned me off too. After a few levels, like really?
Oh my goodness. But putting on stickers isn't a repair.
Well, yeah,
but he did all sorts of other stuff in there.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. What do we got for final thoughts? You got some stuff coming up? You want to plug anything interesting and new?
Well, I'm just working still through the Evercade collection. I'm almost done with Morph Cat, so I might be making a Morph Cat video soon.
Cool.
I actually probably already posted a video on my other channel because I got a robot named Fight Steelbook version of it.
Nice.
So I made a video of that really quick. So
Very cool.
that's pretty much it. I know that there's a new I can't spoil what's coming out. Or can I? No, I can because they already announced it. World Cup Soccer is coming out for Pinball FX. It's not available yet, but as soon as that does become available, probably making a video for that. Well, not for that specifically, but what other updates they do at the time too. Because it's still in early access. I'm not actually going to make videos on those tables until it's out of early access.
Got it. Very cool. Very cool. What about you, Ed? What you got?
So what I got coming up, my next video, while we're still talking about the EXP, so I'm gonna, and now we're getting closer. So my next video is gonna be at like my top 5 features that like I really, really, really want to see. Some will be like duh, and some other ones might be kind of surprising. But yeah, now that we're getting closer, some of them, I guess, some could be wishful thinking. Like some of them, do I think they'll be on release day 1? No, but other ones will be, will be possible, and kind of like what's been hinted like in the Discords. Maybe they'll do it, maybe they don't. I don't know.
Nice. And then over here is the wait. The wait continues for the drive. It's supposed to be somewhere. It's Crucial's getting my drive to me. It'll arrive at some point. I will put this machine back together, and we'll be getting into making content soon. And
I got mine.
There it is. Yes. Crow's got it. There it is. But
I had to send mine for repairs, but I don't know what to do with this now.
But yeah, I will actually do something on the channel. I don't know if it'll be a short or like a selfie cam video or something like that on my phone. But the second I get Atari Mania, I will be talking about it because I want some. I want to be able to talk about it. I also want to be able to play it. So
it sounds like a WarioWare game with Atari games.
Yes,
so.
Yeah.
And I'm amped. I want to play it so bad.
I'm gonna wait. I probably won't get it for a really long time because I pre-ordered a physical copy of it.
Oh, okay.
So I won't get it for a really long time unless I decide to buy it digitally as well, which I might do if it goes on sale before I get it. So
that's probably why I'll get it when it goes on sale. But they'll probably have that like in the anniversary edition, like as a bundle, something like that.
Yep. All right, cool. So yeah, so keep it locked on here, and then also don't forget too, we've got some time before the events that will happen, another couple weeks or so. But don't forget to lock it here right on Bacon Ice Cream Productions channel for more news about the Walk Down Alzheimer's and all the other cool efforts, because we are doing that giveaway for an Atari VCS. Now that we were on that topic, a custom, one-of-a-kind Atari VCS painted purple by none other than the Atari Creep himself. We're going to be giving it away right here on the Evercast in one of the first 2 weeks of November. But watch here for more, for possibly more chances to throw some more names on that spinning wheel. So, with that, we will catch you next time for the Evercast. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you later.
Goodbye.